Good evening. I'm going to be talking about the Second Amendment and gun control rights that are plaguing this country. I'm a gun owner. I'm a gun activist. I'm a gun rights enthusiast. Um, I grew up in a family that owns guns, has owned guns, served in the military, law enforcement, every aspect of gun owning that you can think of. I also work for a tactical company called Green Force Tactical, and we make holsters and other accessories for guns and things of that nature. The problem with people that they don't understand is they think guns are the problem. Guns are not the problem in this country. People are the problem. According to JustFacts.com, the United States has one of the largest populations of guns in the world, if not the largest gun population in the world. Of the 319 million people that are in this country as of 2014, 371 million firearms are owned by about 300 million of those people. Because you have those that can't legally own guns, such as convicted felons and people of that nature, mentally disabled people that are not supposed to have guns as deemed by a court or something like that. Of those 146 million, of the 371 million guns, 146 million, or 39% of the population, are handguns. They're not these so-called assault rifles that people are talking about, which is actually not an accurate term, but we'll get into that. Civilians accounted for 80% of the non-military industry and revenues of guns sold in 2012. Handguns comprise of 52% of all new guns sold to civilians and law enforcement in the year 2014, as compared to 35% in 14 years prior in 2000. Based upon a national survey of private gun owners, households with a gun in the United States varies between 36 to 49%, and of adults owning guns would be about 36% total. Gallup polls that were conducted between 2007 and 2012 found that the following levels of declared gun ownership among different groups. And I have a chart right here in front of me. This is also according to JustFacts.com. Portions of people owning the group is males. 45% of gun owners are male. 15% is females. White, 33%. Non-white, 22%. Republicans, it even breaks it down to that. Republicans, 38%. Independents, 31%. And Democrats being the least at 22%. Also in a 2013 Gallup poll, the reason people own guns is 60% think bought guns for crime prevention or protecting themselves and their family against crime. 36% was for hunting, and the other 21% was for target shooting or recreational shooting. I have both. Personally, I have concealed carry permit, which a lot of Americans do. I have long guns for hunting, and I also have smaller caliber guns that are cheaper to buy for, as we call it, plinking or target shooting. Based on a survey from the U.S. Department of Justice, roughly 5.9 million crimes were committed in the United States during the 2014 year, and these include everything from simple aggravated assaults to robberies, sexual assaults, rapes, and murders. Of those, about 600,000 were committed by offenders with armed with a gun, visibly armed with a gun, I should say. According to a gentleman who is a big gun rights activist, Daniel Brezendorf, he produced a couple of facts. One fact is this: guns don't kill people. Bad people with guns kill people. It's no different than if they had a knife, a bomb, ran somebody over with a car, poisoned them, beat them to death with a baseball bat, or anything like that. That's actually why we have the Second Amendment, because the Founding Fathers knew that we had to be able to protect ourselves in an easier manner from our own government itself, and guns is the easiest way to do that. That's why the military uses guns. I have another chart here that I was able to find, according to the CDC, that it breaks it down. Of the murder victims in the United States in the year 2016, 7,105 of them were committed by handguns. Other firearms that were not listed were about 3,000. Of the so-called AR, or the assault rifles, that was only about 300 guns. or they're only about 300 murders. That's not a lot. If you compare it to the 320 plus million that we have now in 2018, only 300 guns or 300 murders is nothing. That's not even a drop in the bucket. It's not even a tenth of a percent, because more people are killed with hammers in a year than they are with guns, or long guns, I should say. And that goes on to bring me to another argument. If you put in gun control, it's a violation of the Second Amendment as it is written. It is illegal to confiscate guns unless they are owned by convicted felons or people who have been deemed unfit to own a firearm by a judge, such as somebody with a suicidal ideations or homicidal as well. So, also according to the CDC, in the year 2016, of all the homicides in the United States, there was 15,872 homicides, and that's roughly 5 deaths per 100,000. Of those homicides, just 11,008. So just 11,008 were killed by a firearm. So that gets it about 3.5 people per 100,000 in the United States. So people think we need gun control. We don't need gun control. We have a person problem. Our problem is that we have become so intrigued with everybody else's business that we want to be involved in. We think, oh, well, whatever happened in Parkland, Florida, it was a sad situation. But that wasn't a gun problem. That gun didn't say, I'm going to go out here and kill these people. That kid with the gun, who had a mental problem, who was reported by three credible people, just prior to shooting to the FBI, was the one that went and killed the people. Now, the other problem is not following up with what people think are credible leads. For instances, the shooting in the Army a few years ago, back in 2009, when the colonel went and shot and killed 6 people out in Texas at the Army base. He had been found to have ties to terrorist organizations across seas, yet the FBI failed to give that information to the military. Every time you ever see anything going on that has a major shooting, it is not the people, it's not the gun problem, it is a person problem. Each one of those big mass shootings could have been prevented because they were reported, and the FBI or whoever the local jurisdiction even failed to follow up on those situations. You also go back to the Oklahoma City bombing. Timothy McVeigh didn't kill anybody with a gun. He killed him with a truck and 700 pounds of high explosives that he made in his own garage. He killed hundreds of innocent men, women, and children because of the situation there. So, it's not a gun problem. People think that we need gun control in this country. We don't. We don't need gun control. We need people to wake up. The old saying, wake up and smell the roses kind of thing. Need them to realize, hey, we don't have this gun control problem. We need people to just be better citizens. So that's all I have for tonight. And I thank you. Have a good day.